Have you ever replayed one painful memory so many times that it started feeling like your whole life? What if the past wasn't hurting you anymore, but your mind was keeping the wound open? This is the story of a very poor teenage girl who couldn't let go of what happened to her until one strange moment gave her a lesson that changed everything. Once upon a time, in a small forgotten town in the USA, lived a very poor teenage girl named Riley, only 16. She lived in a worn-out trailer with her grandmother, where the roof leaked in rain and the heater worked only when it wanted to. Riley's mother had passed away years ago, and the memory of that loss sat inside her chest like a heavy stone. While other teens talked about the future, Riley's life stayed trapped in yesterday. She went to school, came home, worked small jobs after class, and repeated the same routine, but her heart never moved forward. Even when she smiled, her eyes looked tired, because her real life wasn't in front of her, it was behind her. Riley carried the past everywhere, like a backpack filled with rocks. She remembered the day her mom got sick, the ambulance lights, the last goodbye she didn't say properly, the words she wished she had spoken. The guilt followed her like a shadow. Sometimes at school someone would laugh, and Riley would suddenly feel angry, because how could the world be happy? When her world broke, she stopped making friends because she didn't want to explain her pain. She stopped trying in class because she believed nothing mattered. Even when her grandmother tried to comfort her, Riley would snap, "You don't understand." But the truth was, Riley wasn't living with her grandmother. She was living with a memory. One afternoon, Riley came home and found their trailer messier than usual. Bills were on the table. Her grandmother sat quietly, rubbing her hands like she was scared. Then her grandmother spoke in a weak voice. They were behind on rent again. They might have to leave. Riley froze. It felt like life was taking from her again. That night, she stormed out and walked to the train tracks near town, crying hard, blaming the past for ruining everything. She whispered, "If my mom was still here, none of this would happen." She didn't notice a small figure sitting nearby, an old homeless woman with a blanket and a paper cup, watching her with calm eyes. If this story is touching your heart, subscribe to English Story Academy channel for emotional, meaningful, and interesting stories that help you learn English with life lessons. The old woman spoke softly, like she didn't want to scare Riley. "You're walking with ghosts," she said. Riley wiped her tears, confused. The woman pointed at the tracks and added, "Do you see that train? It never goes backward." Riley frowned. "So?" The woman smiled gently. "Your life is the same, but your mind keeps dragging you backward." Riley felt angry. "You don't understand what I lost." The woman nodded slowly. "I understand more than you think. I lost a daughter. I lived in the past so long. I lost my future too." Then she said a sentence that hit Riley like lightning. "The past is a place to learn from, not a place to live in." Riley returned the next day to find the woman gone, but a small notebook was left where she sat, wrapped in plastic to protect it from rain. Riley opened it slowly. Inside were letters, handwritten, messy, emotional. They weren't addressed to anyone living. They were letters the woman had written to her lost daughter for years. Page after page said things like, "I'm sorry, I miss you, I can't move on." Then, near the end, the writing changed. One line was circled again and again. "My daughter wouldn't want me to disappear too." Riley's hands shook. The twist wasn't that the woman was wise. The twist was that the woman had been exactly like Riley, until she finally chose to stop, drowning in her own memories. That night, Riley sat beside her grandmother and spoke gently for the first time in months. She apologized. She admitted the truth. She had been angry at life because she missed her mother, and she didn't know how to carry it. Her grandmother held her hand and cried quietly, saying, "I miss her too." Riley realized she wasn't alone. She had just been locked inside her own pain. The next morning, she made a small plan. Not a big dream, just small steps. Go to school on time, finish homework, save what she earned, help her grandmother, and stop punishing herself for what she couldn't change. It didn't erase the past, but it gave her direction. Weeks passed. Riley still missed her mother, but she didn't let the memory control her anymore. She kept the notebook safe, like a reminder of what happens when grief becomes your home. One evening, she stood near the tracks again, watching a train disappear into the distance. This time she didn't cry. She whispered, "I love you, Mom, but I have to keep going." And for the first time, she meant it. Riley learned the real secret. Healing isn't forgetting. Healing is remembering without losing yourself. The past didn't change, but Riley did, and that changed everything. Moral of the story: you can miss the past without living inside it. Your future needs you more than your memories do. Subscribe to English Story Academy channel for emotional, powerful, and unforgettable English stories with real-life lessons.